Got any other millennials in the house? A few, yeah. Raise the roof. That's our thing. Cool, right? Gen Z, younger than 25? Yeah. Okay, you guys seem very nervous. Any other generations? Gen X, boomers? Yeah, oh, none. Okay, cool. I love it. You were going to clap and you were like, never mind. Here's the thing. I am a millennial. I feel like I kind of tapped out of culture like 3 years ago, like right around the time that Gen Z decided to rename black people. You remember that? Yeah. They came up with the word BIPOC, okay? Yeah, some of you are triggered. Cool. If you don't know BIPOC, right, it stands for Black Indigenous People of Color, right, which is a really great term. It's just that nobody bothered to tell black people, okay? Which you gotta warn someone about, right, because it's very confusing. Like, the very first time that someone referred to me as BIPOC, I was like, oh, no, sorry, I'm straight. Like, I can't keep up. I don't know what's right or what's wrong anymore, which is good. Progress is good. You look terrified, okay? Like, recently I was talking to a girl who's much younger than me, okay? And during the conversation, I used a phrase that I've used 1,000,000 times in my life before, okay? And that phrase is, that's ghetto. I've said that so many times, didn't even know it was a swear word, okay? This girl stopped me, middle of the conversation. She was like, just so you know, you're no longer allowed to say that's ghetto. You cannot say that's ghetto. She did the finger and everything, so you know it's serious, okay? She's like, you cannot say that's ghetto, which I have no idea why. I'm sure there's like a very good reason. It's just it was a white woman who told me. I could not hear her over the audacity. I was like, I don't think you're allowed to say that to me. Also, white women, I love you. There's so many of you here. Cool. I love it. No, it is. It's fun. I like being a millennial, but Gen Z, you guys are very interesting, okay? Like, I had no idea. Like, I just turned 30, and I had no idea how, like, anyone under 25 kind of viewed being in your 30s, okay? I didn't know until I was scrolling through TikTok, all right? Yes, I'm still on TikTok, so brave, okay? I was scrolling through, and I came across this TikTok from this, like, 16-year-old girl, right? And she did it like it was a conspiracy theory TikTok, right? It was, like, dark music and, like, ominous lighting, and I was like, ooh, she figured out who killed JFK. Gen Z, we know who JFK? Yeah, okay. Sometimes they're like, it's an airport. That is correct, okay. No, I thought she like figured something out, right? And the 16-year-old girl, she opens her mouth, she goes, celebrities you won't believe are in their 30s. I was like, I didn't like that hard R. Then I was like, who's she gonna name, right? She was like, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, Morgan Freeman, probably. I was like, that man hasn't been 30 since he was 5. Oh, weird. People get so weird when you start talking about age, which is like my new favorite thing to do. I think it's because it makes a lot of people wildly uncomfortable, which I'm obsessed with, okay? Right? Like, I don't really like people who don't like talking about age, right? Like, you ever met one of those women who's like, ooh, like a lady never reveals her age, right? And it's like, your name's Ethel. Like, I think we can round up. Who are you trying to fool, okay? I do think, here's the thing, I think you should enjoy whatever age you are, okay? No matter what you are, whatever age. I love being 30, all right? But there is something about, like, your early 20s. You guys remember your early 20s? Like, you can be naive in a way you can't in any other age in life, right? Like, has anyone talked to a 20-year-old recently? Yeah, all the men look very nervous. You're like, define talk to, what do you mean? I love it. No, I was talking to a 20-year-old friend of mine recently, right? And I asked her a very simple question on the surface, okay? I said, what did you do this weekend, right? And she told me that she went to a wedding-themed party. A wedding-themed party. I was like, was it just a bunch of people mocking my dreams? It's like, what's a wedding theme party? I'd never heard of that. I was like, what is that? She was like, oh, I had a friend who got engaged. I was like, that's called an engagement party. She was like, no, like wedding themed engagement, what's the difference? I was like, well, one's an engagement party and the other is a cry for help. Like, I'm a 30-year-old woman. If I threw myself a wedding themed party, my friends would throw me a party themed intervention. Would not work out full circle for me, right? It is fun. Good time to mention I am single. Any single people? Yeah? Okay, not happy about it. Cool. Someone went progress. You're like, woo, okay. I like being single. Here's the thing. My friends keep like trying to set me up. Like recently I had a friend set me up on a date with an NFL player. Okay. Ooh, a few gold diggers in the crowd. Cool. Yeah. I was very excited because I've always dreamed of being cheated on. You know? Would have been great. Cool. Here's the thing thing though, I like being single, right? But it is tough. I'm a straight woman, okay? Anyone brave enough to say they're a straight woman? Yeah, I love it. Okay, cool. We're not very popular anymore, are we, right? We kind of age out. We're like the like Abercrombie and Fitch of sexuality, right? Everybody else is like, we did that in high school, we grew up, okay? True, it's not good. Like, I like being single, but I'm always trying to figure out, like, where to meet men, right? I feel like that's, like, the biggest issue these days is, like, where to meet men. And you guys know how there's, like, too much true crime speak? Have you ever realized that right now? Like, especially when it comes to dating, right? Like, recently, okay, I tried to go on a first date with a guy, and a friend, all of a sudden, she was like, all right, just make sure he doesn't take you to a secondary location. I was like, I met him online, right? I'm not even sure he's gonna be at the first location, right? Like, let's figure that one out later, right? Here's the thing though, I'm like too anxious just in life in general. I think that's like my big issue. And I think the reason is because I have a very anxious, concerned mom. Does anyone else have really concerned parents? Yeah, okay. Like, this is fun. Like, my mom is great, right? But she's always like calling and texting to check up on me. And her calls and texts are sometimes so intense that they sound like they're the threats of danger, okay? Has anyone ever had a mom like that? Yeah. Like, it's a real thing. She called me recently. She was like, hey, just wanted to check in and let you know that I love you and also that a woman was just murdered in your neighborhood. I was like, why would I need to know that? Okay. She was like, I don't know, just watch your back. I'm like, did you do it? Like, is this a check-in or a confession, okay? Like, she loves to do this thing that for some reason I've learned a lot of moms like to do. Like, we got any moms in the house? Yeah, okay. Like, every mom is on, like, their own version of Google, and it's, like, the dark web, okay? Right? Like, any point of the day, doesn't matter what I'm doing. It'll be, like, 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. She'll send me some sort of intense article link of, like, a dangerous thing that's happened to any girl my exact same age, height, or stature, you know? And they always have, like, the most sensationalistic headline. It's always like, woman slain in a Dairy Queen, family sad, mom told you so. Like, that's really sketchy, right? I think the reason I'm really anxious, because I grew up in like the 90s, early 2000s. I like to think our only version of struggle back then was like American Girl dolls, okay? Did anyone have an American Girl doll when they were a kid? Yeah, a few of you. I like the, right? They all came with like very intense, traumatic, like historical backgrounds. Yeah, have you realized that? Which is so weird. Yeah, very traumatizing. If you don't know anything about the history of American Girl dolls, right? They all had like very intense backgrounds. Like there was about 10 original American Girl dolls, okay? About 7 of them were Caucasian, 1 ginger, because representation. And then there was 1 black one, right? And her backstory is that she was a slave. I know, right? My mom used to pick me up from play dates like, how was it? I'm like, I think it was a civil rights violation. I think we committed a crime. It did help me though later in life because I had a roommate a couple of years ago who was like the worst person I've ever met in my life. Have you ever just met someone and you know the day that you meet them you're not gonna get along, right? Like we were polar opposites. Like I'm an introvert and she was annoying. So, bit of a struggle, okay? Also, we had completely different interests, all right? Like I wanted to like this girl, I swear I did, okay? But the very first day I met her, she told me that she had a very strict no nickname stance, okay? Yeah, which is a very weird thing to have a whole stance on. And also, her name was Elizabeth, which is like, yeah, immediately from you. Like, arguably the most nicknamed name in the history of ever, you know what I mean? There's like Liz, Lizzie, Beth, Betty, or my personal favorite for her, Lucifer. So, it's cool. Here's my thing, though. My issue in life in general is I'm too approachable as a person. I have a thing that people like to call resting friendly face, okay? Yeah, it just means that people like to come up to me at like the weirdest times to tell me things or ask me things. Like, you guys remember summer of 2020 when all the protests and stuff were happening in New York? Yeah? Okay, I was walking down the street at the time. I was not protesting at the moment, okay? I was just grabbing a coffee, minding my black-owned business. And an elderly white woman, very sweet lady, I did not know her. She comes up to me. She had tears in her eyes. She stops me, and she goes, hey, excuse me, but I just wanted to let you know that I think Black Lives Matter, okay? Which was very weird. But I wanted to go with her. I was like, all right, that was sweet. What could I possibly say back to her that's gonna feel like the same level of importance as Black Lives Matter, right? So I just looked at her back and I was like, thank you so much. And I just wanted to let you know, live, laugh, love. I'm Vannessa Jackson, you guys are cool.
Good to be here. I know I look like I believe in Christmas all year long. Great. Good. All right. Well, that one did better than we needed it to. I don't have any tattoos. You guys knew that. I don't. I just don't have tattoo brain. Every time I've ever put on a sticker on my laptop, I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? This is forever. But I know this is true. Everyone knows I own a printer by looking at me. People that have never been to my place have gone, can I print something at your house? That's not good. I've never been cool in my life. I just have Office Depot energy. That's not fair. That doesn't make you feel good about yourself. I've given up on trying to be cooler than I am. It's important, you got to do it. I stopped trying to dress cooler than I am. You learn a lot when you do that, by the way. You learn you're not pulling off what you're wearing if someone says what you're wearing to you. Like recently, I wore a leather jacket, and my best friend was like, leather jacket. And I was like, uh-oh. That's not how you say that. He said it like I had a weapon. He's like, somebody get it from him. He's got a leather jacket. That's not good. Every time I've tried to look cooler than I am, I end up looking like those cell phone towers that are trying to look like trees. People are like, we see what you're going for, and it's not natural. We know it's you. Yeah, my friends, they're still trying, My friends do cool sneakers. I'll buy shoes if I like them, but I don't do the stuff that they do. My friends, they clean their shoes. They're obsessed. By the way, if you're a sneakerhead, that's fine, but if somebody's complimenting you on just your shoes, that means they scanned your entire body and couldn't find anything until they got to your feet. Don't quit at the ankle, They're like, no. Oh, look at those, buddy. It's not good. Yeah, my friends, this is true. I have friends that Ziploc bag their shoes and put them in the freezer. Keep them fresh. That's wild. I feel like even if you told Jeffrey Dahmer that, he'd be like, what's in your fridge? You some kind of freak? Wow, you have a pair of Jordans. I just have the one guy. I don't know. That's why I envy older men. Older men, they've got it down, They figured it. You guys all looked at the oldest of the table, but you really shouted them out with your eyes. Older men, they're not worried about their shoes. It's pretty great. That's a place I want to be. They've reached Zen. They literally found New Balance. That's a place I would like to get to. It's a long walk to that fun, but yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to get more comfortable with myself. I'm a people pleaser. Any people pleasers here? Cool. All in the back. That makes sense. You guys are holding the door for everybody else. Yeah, I'm a people. My buddy confronted me about it recently. He's like, you care too much about what other people think, and you need to stop. I was like, if I did, would that make you happy? Would you like me more? I'm trying to be more confident too. That's important. It's starting to happen. Because I recently got a confidence crystal, and I did. And I'll be honest, I know it works because I stole it. So thank you. You're the only one that gave it what it was worth. I don't know. I'm trying. I have anxiety. Diagnosed. I'm not doing it to fit in. But I'm an anxious guy, Sometimes I think I'm being a calm person, and then I realize my shoulders are protecting my neck for no reason whatsoever. People are like, Steve, are you stressed out? I'm like, why would you ask me that? Why do you think so? They're like, it looks like you're guarding a bell tower. Breathe a little bit. I'm not smooth. You guys have been listening. I'm not a smooth person. I recently went to a restaurant with a buddy, and the guy behind the podium, he looked at us, and he went like this. And now I know he meant two. But I'm not joking. I did it back at him. I was like, yeah, and also with you, man. Let's have no conflict tonight. We just wanted food, both of us. I'm an anxious guy, and I can read a room. It feels like some of you might be that way. And let me tell you, if you don't think you have anxiety, here's how you'll know. Have you ever been out in public, somewhere where you see somebody like maybe at the grocery store, and you realize you don't have it in you, so you hide? You have social anxiety. And you're like, not today, somebody I actually like a lot. Store clerk's like, can I help you? I'm like, cut the lights. I don't think they saw me. One time I went to the store, and someone I knew was near what I came to go get, and I was like, you know what? I don't need that prescription. I'll ride out this itch. I'm an embarrassing guy, and I'm willing to admit it. I feel like we don't do that. All of our social media is just how things are great. None of us share all the stuff that's making us human. That's why I like baseball players, Because they show up every day to the plate knowing that on the biggest screen there, they're going to show how their entire year is going. Also, their height and weight. Anybody want to do that? Can you imagine if every time you guys showed up somewhere, it just showed on a screen how your whole year was going? I come out, they're like, this is Steve. This year he got 5 parking tickets, 9 cavities, and he booked a flight to the wrong Portland. He's 5'6". Hi, I'm trying. I'm afraid of flying. I'm trying to get better at that. No one makes you feel better when you tell them you're afraid of flying. I told my dad, and he was like, oh, that's just because you're not in control. No, I think I'd be more scared if I was flying this thing. Can you imagine that? Like, ladies and gentlemen, this is the guy that was in 18B, but now I'm your captain. Just to let you know, it's not turbulence. I'm just really nervous up here. Eat the peanuts. Doesn't matter if you're allergic. We're all going to die. I hope you guys like slides. I'm afraid of flying. So to deal with that, I usually take the bus, which has taught me to get over my fear of flying. I've been on enough flights to realize I'd rather cry in the sky than be on a Greyhound ever again. It's the worst. I hate it so much. Everyone is sick on the bus. They give me a free ticket with whooping cough. I don't get it. Also, the electrical outlets, when you try to charge your phone, they never work. I think we're just charging the bus. So my girlfriend and I, we just got a cat, so I'm always bleeding. And I wanted a dog, but then my girlfriend was like, well, then it wouldn't go to the bathroom where we breathe. And that was a good point. So we got a cat. And I work from home and have a cat. It is impossible to get anything done. People are like, working from home is just like working at the office. Really? At what office does your boss stick their hands into the doorway like this? How many coworkers have puked on your desk and left? It's rough. Yeah, I bought a lot of cat toys for my cat. I love my cat. Got a lot of cat toys. You guys know cat toys. They're all the same size as the space underneath all of your furniture. Every cat toy I bought is under something. If I want to play with my cat, I got to get it underneath a thing. I throw it to my cat. She hits it right back underneath where I got it from and looks at me like, you get it. I get it. I throw it to her. She does it again. I'm playing fetch. I'm my cat's dog. So we just got a second cat, and we got a hairless cat. Just pure shock from someone. That was like if my fly was down and he saw my hairless cat. Like, that was the same reaction. That was great. No one can pretend to like your hairless cat. Everyone is bad at it. I went to show my best friend a picture of my hairless cat. I know he tried to say aw. All he could get out was, oh, jeez. You should give him your leather jacket. I love my hairless cat. He's the best. He's like having a little version of the old men at the Y. You know, I got him a little towel, so he always looks like he just got out of the shower. He's like, oh, you're home early. Okay. I thought I would have more time. My next door neighbor, afraid of cats, regular ones. And then we got this thing. And recently, I was coming home at the same time as my neighbor. I opened my front door, and my hairless cat sprints down the hallway and down towards my neighbor. And you know those scary movies where the guy can't get his key in the lock? He just looked back. He was like, oh, my God. Why is it inside out? You guys are a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I'm Stephen Rogers. Appreciate it.
I am dating a fella. He is 9 years younger than me. Thank you. It's a little fucked up because I'm 20, but some of you not laughing. Thank you. Think I'm a pedophile. That's fine. He likes dating older women, but I am the oldest one he's ever dated, so I am a little afraid he'll leave me for an even older woman. Right? He helped an elderly woman cross the street. I was like, okay, who's this slut, huh? Who's this hussy? No. I get jealous. I have toxic jealousy issues. Anyone have those? Okay, a few of you. No, okay, thank you. Good, dude. Okay, I was reading about how they used to throw hot young virgins in volcanoes. Do you guys remember that? Were you guys around for that? And I want to blame men for that, but as a jealous woman, that was for sure one of us, right? can absolutely picture myself 3,000 years ago being like, the crops are failing. We should kill Rachel. Bye, Rachel. I get jealous of Instagram. He can see all these hot ladies on Instagram, right? All his friends in bikinis, side boob, under boob. And people are like, Carmen, just work on your self-esteem. No. I'm not doing that. I want reciprocity. I want more dudes posting on the gram from here to here, okay? In thin gray sweatpant material. I know you know what I'm talking about. I want to be able to look at it and be like, oh my God, he's uncircumcised. Wow, okay. I want side ball. I want underball. Okay, get fun, get creative with it. I want to be scrolling through that on the internet, and my boyfriend looks over my shoulder and goes, what the hell are you doing? As I heart one of them, I'm like, oh my God, babe, work on yourself. Would be impossible to cheat on me, though. I have long hair. Anyone else have these? Find them coiled around their genitals. Right? I feel like any side chick trying would be like, who the hell is she? She needs to get this cut. Those are split ends, you know? My boyfriend took me to an EDM concert recently. He's white. It's electronic dance music. It goes like beep, 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 beep. Sounds like a dial-up modem. He doesn't know what that is. Tis not good music, right? It's beeps and tones, and then one lyric that sounds like an intrusive thought. Do you think you're better off alone? Side note, unintrusive thoughts. Sounds like you guys get them. The thoughts, ideas, images that pop into your head, they're usually very disturbing. You don't want them there. I was reading that. I was like, are people having other thoughts? Woo! Every day I'm like, do not let that cop get too close to me. Today's the day we steal the gun. And pow, 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 you know? Every toddler, I'm like, my God, it'd be so easy to just pop. They're so top heavy, you know? Says EDM concert sucked, so my boyfriend goes, I'll make it better. Why don't you have some Molly, some ecstasy? And I'm more of a sleepy time tea kind of a gal. I once cut a melatonin in half. Also, the DARE program worked wonders on me. Like, you cannot peer pressure me. To be fair, they didn't warn me in that class, like when I was a kid, that there was going to be some younger kid offering me drugs this far into the future, right? When I was 12, they weren't like, oh, guess what, buddy? There's a toddler out there somewhere, and he's going to offer you drugs in about 30 years. Stay ready. I was not. I took the Molly, and I had a very intense trip to the medical tent. Have we been? Has anyone been to the tent? No one's been to the... You guys got to go to the tent, dude. The tent rips, okay? Here's why. They give you free water. Water is $200 at music festivals. They also don't tell the cops, and they give you free health care. Oops, it's Canada in there. Yeah, the dream of American healthcare for all, it exists. It's just in the tent, you guys. I don't know what premium you're paying for your insurance. Stop that. Just get a ticket to see Skrillex. And then just bust through the flaps. Be like, hi, yeah, I have a mole that's looking very suspicious. I'd like a Diet Coke with 3 limes, please. Right? Medical care in this country is terrible. I just Google all my problems. I'll be like, can a headache kill you? And the internet's like, tonight, probably. I had to Google this. I'm not trying to be crass, but I wasn't about to go to urgent care to be like, what happens when you get cum in your eye? It congeals. It is what it does. It was the same day that Trump got shot in the ear. And I was like, look at us, both getting shot in the face, huh? And my shooter didn't miss, but... Yeah, medical care is terrible. I know it's terrible. We don't know anything about women's bodies in particular, and I know that because every show I like to announce, hey, women don't pee out of their vaginas. And then I can just feel someone learn something. Some of you are not laughing, but you are learning. It's important to me. There's a lot of holes down there, okay? 7, 8, no one knows for sure. Riddled with holes. I don't don't know anything about my own body either, you know? I Googled, I was like, what does a healthy vulva look like? And the internet was like, we have penises. Did you want to look at those? A vulva? Okay, well, we have half a papaya. We have a zipper that's undone in the middle. Is that what you have down there? So I just compare and contrast. I look with a mirror. But one time I took a picture with flash, and I would not recommend that. It's a lot of extra typography. Not a cartographer, but I was like, what's going on down here? Okay, I close up, zoomed on it, and sent it to 5 of my closest girlfriends. I was like, what do we think's going on here? They were like, yeah, what is going on here? What is this? I was like, it's Iraq from space, actually. So, does Iraq look healthy? Does Iraq look STD free? So, but it's a good life. Yeah, terrible medical stuff. I think I have ADHD. Can we prove that right now? Jesus Christ. Even when I'm having sex, like I'll be focused, like my fantasies, and then like my brain's like, da, 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 da. What makes wild rice wild? Some rice just taken off its shell. I don't know. I can't focus. I'm afraid I'll get dementia for sure, right? My grandmother got it. She forgot who everyone was, but she didn't forget music. That part of your brain never forgets, which is insane, right? Look your daughter in the face, be like, I don't know. A milli. Forever, right? Husband, wife, gone, wet ass pussy, locked in there for all time. But I do see a therapist. She's awesome. I love her so much. I'm on Zoloft. Oh my gosh, it's great. They did prove that antidepressants and just dancing, just as effective. That sucks, right? I don't want my therapist to sit me down and be like, oh, are you sad? Have you tried the stanky leg? I just prescribe you 2 whips and 4 nays. I'd be like, give me the pills, right? I love Zoloft. It has little warnings on the side of the bottle, and one of them is, use care if you're going to operate a vessel, such as a boat. Yeah, I wouldn't be on antidepressants if I had a boat. I'd be in my boat, dude. Doing boat shit. I was depressed for a long time. I couldn't get out of bed. Here's the thing, though. It's bed, right? Bed rips. Bed's amazing. It's not like I was struggling to get out of oven. All the signs of depression are amazing. I'll be in like a bathrobe, pajamas, eating ice cream in the dark. Okay. Thriving, right? If I'm in a business suit eating a plain kale salad, call the suicide hotline. Going to work is a cry for help, you know? Therapist is great. She is a black woman. I don't think I should be allowed to have her as this, you know? I feel like everything that comes out of my face just sounds like, and then they were out of oat milk. But it is hard to come on Zoloft. Here's what I've been doing. Every time I get 25 more milligrams of Zoloft, I just up my vibrator speed by 1 setting. Yeah, so I've gone from like to I'm at that one. The next one in the cycle is that one that's like And I'm like, who the fuck is that for? Right? What sociopath among us is using that one? Is any anarchist in here like, yeah, I'm going to come to the Morse code? All right, my name is Carmen Lagala. You guys have been so fun. Thank you so much.
It's very nice to be here in a room full of people. This is very exciting. It's nice and packed and crowded. I don't see any masks. How do we feel about the pandemic? Probably kind of waning over, maybe, even though it's a little anxiety provoking. But here's the thing. I feel like even if it sort of like goes away, we're not going to get like a day where it ends and we can all go, oh, it's over. Thank God it's finally over, you know? And I think we need that. In history, America has gotten that, and it's been very helpful and sort of cathartic. Like, World War II, the Nazis surrendered. Let's give it up for the Nazis surrendering, guys. Thanks. Just a wonderful cheap ploy to get applause. And just check out, who people are if they're not clapping. So the Nazis surrender. We have VE Day, Victory in Europe Day. Everybody goes to Times Square, and they're celebrating, and there's a ticker tape parade, and everything's going on, and the government was like giving a nurse to every soldier to kiss. It was like, you get a nurse, and they were all like, yay. And then that happens, and everybody was like, oh, it's over, we move on, And we need that. We need a VC Day, like a Victory over COVID Day. We all go to Times Square. Everybody's there with masks. And they go, 1, 2, 3. And we rip our masks off, and everybody's like breathing on each other and spitting in each other's mouths and kissing and fucking. And I want an orgy in Times Square. That's what I want. Thank you. And so now somebody didn't clap for the Nazis surrendering or the orgy. Sir, no. So I've started a Kickstarter for the orgy, and it's www.orgyintimesquare.org.orgy.gov, because I want the government to pay for it. I want a government-funded fuckfest in Times Square. Thank you. Great. So now you know a little about me. No, I don't really trust the government necessarily, implicitly. I thought it was very interesting recently that it took Republicans 2-3 weeks or whatever just to elect a Speaker of the House. I mean, they had 5 perfectly good white guys that they went through. You know how screwed up things are when Republicans can't be like, we agree on that white guy. Like, that was pretty rough. They went through, before they landed on Mike Johnson, which is a made-up name, they went through a Jim, a Kevin, a Tom, and a Steve. Sometimes I'm like, is that a political party or a lacrosse team? I kind of expected someone to be like, I nominate Brock. Brock would be dope. Speak, Brock. And Brock's like, yo, I think we should. It's my lacrosse moves I clearly did not play. Yeah, no, I'm also single for the same reason, Brett is. Divorced. we broke up with each other. No, we're getting along great, guys. It's really great. No, also splitting up, but I will say this. So I'm looking for, got to find somebody new to be with. That's always daunting, especially my age, because I'm in my late 30s, and that I'm 48. I'm 30-18, guys. I'm 30-18. Just go with me on that. So I try to find somebody, and this guy my age, like, you don't want to see them dating an inappropriate woman. Age-wise, it's just weird. So I found someone. She's age-appropriate for me. She's 24. And just to speak to the criticism of Leo, this is what's nice about the age difference. When you look at it this way, when I was her age, she wasn't born. And when she's my age, I'll be dead. And I feel like there's like a circle of life thing going on. You can't put your finger on it. It's just very, very ethereal and beautiful. No, but the reason I really can't date a 24-year-old, in addition to, it being obviously inappropriate, is I have a 14-year-old son. Any other parents here? Any parents? A few parents, nice some hand raises, some weak. And the rest of you, very cool. You're all very cool. You go out and see comedy shows on a Wednesday in the East Village. You're never gonna die. You know that. You're never gonna die, right? That's what you think? Yeah. 4 years from now, you'll be in Scarsdale with 3 kids like, what the hell happened to my life? Oh my God, how did that happen? So my son is he's a good kid. Yeah, like I said, he's 14. When he was younger, he was, a little harder to deal with. And he's a great kid. We named him after, went with an old family name, named him after my grandfather. His name is Grandpa. And when Grandpa was 5, he was just tough to deal with. He wanted to play a video game, and I wanted him to eat dinner. So we're going back and forth. I'm like, come on, just stop playing the game and have dinner. He's like, no, just stop. You can play after dinner. No, back and forth. Finally, I put my foot down. I was like, Grandpa, you got to stop playing that game and then eat. And he got really quiet. He got mad. He looked at me, and he looked at my wife, and he looked back at me, and he goes, Mama, kill him. Jesus, man, that is intense. Also, it's lazy. Even Oedipus did his own work. You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's go. Also, that's the definition of impunity, to order a hit on somebody right in front of them from their spouse who's right there. Like, that's some big dick energy from a kid whose dick was like this big at the time. Yeah. But he's better now. He's 14, like I said, and he's like, it's an awkward age. It's not the best time of your life. A lot of social pressures, who's cool, who's not, in and out of cliques and stuff like that. And he was telling me when he was getting his bar mitzvah last year, he said, there's this kid at Hebrew schools. He's really mean to everybody. He thinks he's the big shot of our Hebrew school. And at first I was like, oh my God, who is this kid who's being mean to my son? And then I thought, hold on a second. Is there a lamer flex in the world than I'm the big shot of a Hebrew school? It's pretty pathetic, right? That's like being like, I'm the best looking person on this 4 a.m. subway to Coney Island. All right. Also, that is the only place the Jews can be tough, is around other Jews, No non-Jews are afraid of Jews. That's just not how it works, No one's ever been like, oh shit, man, Brian Weinstein's here. It's Jacob Schwartz, he's gonna kick your ass. You're never gonna hear those sentences again, as long as you live. When I was a kid, me and all my Jewish friends got beat up by the Irish and Italian kids. That's the pecking order. That's how it works, It was like, Tommy LaMarca, Danny O'Brien, Patty Walsh, Anthony LaMotta. My list of tormentors reads like a ship's manifest docking at Ellis Island in 1885. Welcome to America. Here's your police badge. No, go beat up that tailor. There he is. He thinks he's a big shot of the tailor shop. Yeah, so I'm divorced, as I said. My ex-wife we get along with great. I really did like her family. She grew up in Texas, and they were all really great. You from Texas, or you just love Texas? Anybody from Texas? Woo! Yeah? Cool. Close your ears. They're fucking crazy. Those people are crazy. Okay, open your ears up. No, I had a great time with them. They're really wonderful people. There's a bit of a culture clash, though, coming from here, going down there. Every inch of their walls at my in-laws' place was covered in either a decorative cross, like a Jesus cross, or like a mounted stuffed deer head. So the whole place was like a monument to the deaths of many animals and one guy, pretty much. And I mentioned I'm Jewish, obviously, so that was kind of weird. And I didn't say that I'm not a hunter, but I'm not a hunter. And just quickly, I want to dispel the stereotype of the Jewish hunter. A lot of people think we're not all hunters, okay? Some of us are cowboys and bodybuilders and nude models. So just give us our due. But one time, my brother-in-law from Texas came up to New York, and we were just giving him hummus, just a snack to eat. And he was like, "Oh, y'all are eating that liberal hummus." And it was funny because it was done in good humor. It was making fun of himself and us at the same time. And at first I thought, oh yeah, he's saying liberals eat hummus. And then I thought, hold on a second, does he mean that hummus itself is somehow liberal? And I think it kind of is. If you think about hummus, it's a bunch of different ingredients. They're all blended together, make this pleasing sort of mocha color, and everyone around the world loves hummus. You could dip anything in there. The ethos of hummus is liberal. And then it got me thinking, so what's a conservative food? Red-blooded, all-American food. And it's not, hamburgers or hot dogs or fried chicken or something like that. It's Lunchables. And here's why. Because in Lunchables, everything that's a different color is separated into its own little area, and they gave the cracker the biggest part. And that's how you know how American it is. I had a lot of experience, dipped into the culture of Texas, and they name people things in Texas that are very different than what we name people things here in New York. Maybe the people from Texas, this will be familiar to you. I have a nephew who named his son Dallas. His name is Dallas Downing. That's a great name, man. I would never name anybody that, in my family, there's no Dallas Downings. That's a pretty solid Texas name. There's also a guy who grew up in Texas who was a quarterback in the NFL. His name is Colt McCoy. I mean, come on. What else are you going to be than a quarterback? Your name is Colt McCoy. Your name is Colt McCoy, and your parents send you to college. Do not come home an orthodontist. They're going to be pissed, If you, what'd you say? Or a porn star. That is right. Thank you for screaming porn star. He wasn't even listening. He's looking at his phone. Porn star. No. It is a great porn star name. Straight or gay. Doesn't really matter. Gay. Gay? Okay, fine. That's okay.
I'll be quiet.
That's okay. I don't think you will, but just a warning to everybody else. Thank you very much. I just took one on the chin for the rest of the comics. It's perfectly fine. It is absolutely a gay porn star name. It's not an orthodontist name. If you went to an orthodontist and he was like, "Hi, I'm Colt McCoy," you'd be like, "You're a gay porn star." We work together on that. But my son, there are people here in New York, as I said, they're very different names. There are people his age that I know, I confirm, I swear these are real names. There is a dragon, there is a parsley, and there is a cafe. These are kids' names. I'm all for whatever you want to do with your names, but taken together, like Dragon Parsley Cafe is a place in Park Slope that sells like vegan water or something like that. But I get a little I get almost like spooked a little bit where I'm like, am I gonna be overhear my son talking to his friends and they're gonna be like, oh my God, did you guys see Flannel last week at TikTok's party? He was totally making out with Billboard right in front of Canyon. But then Stucco and Mystery walked in, and they were like, you guys, Basil and Tractor are having a party over at Nylon's house, and we wanted to go, but Seatbelt was the only one who had a car, and they were hammered. So it was me and Caps Lock and Delete and Escape, and we all got in Hyundai's Honda, and we went over there, and it was a great party. Everybody was there. Manual, Spaniel, Banner, Tanner, Scanner, Copier, Printer, Monopoly, Fax Machine, 9/11. Everybody was there. It was a great party. All right, that's my time, everybody. Have a good night.